back to my channel. Today I'm going to be sharing with you my TBR for 2019. I've seen a lot of people do these videos before. I've obviously never done one since this is my first real year being on BookTube, but I thought I'd want to share with you the books that I'm going to be prioritizing over the year of 2019. In my 2018 wrap-up, I mentioned that 2018 was the year of sequels and series. I don't think there's going to be much difference in 2019. However, I'm going to be dubbing 2019 the year of rereads because I am desperately trying to reread some old series that I haven't had a chance to go through in a long time and that I really want to see how my thoughts have changed. So in this list there's going to be a couple classics that I've been putting off that I want to get to, some other big books that I also have been putting off, and then a few series that I've been rereading and desperate to finish and see what my thoughts are. So the first two books on my 2019 TBR are a series that I started rereading last year. I'm still making my way through just slowly, just enjoying it, savoring it, and that is Harry Potter. I still have to read Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince and Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. I'm about halfway through Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix right now, but as always, enjoying my reread, but I'd like to finish it in 2019 because I am taking a long time with it, which doesn't normally happen, but I'm enjoying it, so as always. So yeah, I'd like to finish this off in 2019. The next series that I started rereading in 2019, actually at the end of 2018, is The Mortal Instruments by Cassandra Clare. So I read this back when I was like 14. I'm currently over halfway through City of Bones right now, but I really wanted to see if my thoughts have changed. When I first read this series, I read it at my cottage with my cousin. She adores this series. I couldn't get into it very much when I was first reading it. I still read almost the whole thing. I never actually finished City of Lost Souls, which I know, sacrilege, but I just couldn't get into it as much. And I haven't read nearly as much urban fantasy as of late as I have high fantasy. Urban fantasy was definitely what I tended to gravitate towards when I was a teenager. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how my thoughts have changed. Again, I've been taking a long time to read it because I really want to get a good opinion on it. I've been rereading it with Soleil over at Little Reader's Corner and Madison Mary over at Paperback Mary. And I don't know what our schedule is going to be to try and finish off The Mortal Instruments, but I'd like to finish it off quite soon because I really want to try and read Cassie Clare's other series in this world, in the Shadowhunters world. Specifically, I want to read The Infernal Devices. I've heard from many people who have read them that they think I'd like that trilogy the most, but I feel like I need to read the rest of The Mortal Instruments to be able to, first of all, have it fresh in my mind how the world works, but also to have plot points in my head that I'm going to need so that I can understand the references in The Infernal Devices. And then I'd like to try and read The Dark Artifices as well. I've heard, again, it's great. I've heard it's got wonderful plot points and characters and that it's a wonderful series, so I really want to give it a try. I'm feeling really left out, but I'm really hoping I love it. Again, I don't have many thoughts right now, but I'm hopeful. But I'd really love to finish off The Mortal Instruments this year. The next reread that I want to do this year, Colleen, you're going to be very excited about it, is the Court of Thorns and Roses series. I haven't reread this series at all, but it was the first introduction to Sarah J. Maas that I ever had, and I'm really curious to see how I'm going to go into Court of Thorns and Roses, knowing what happens in A Court of Mist and Fury and A Court of Wings and Ruin. But it's one of my favorite series of all time, and I love to be able to dive back into that world. Again, I probably won't be able to do it until... Maybe I'll try over a reading week, but maybe not. Probably not until the summer because these are kind of hefty and I've got a lot of reading to do for school. But it's definitely one that I want to jump right into. I love this world so much. The characters just make me so happy and I love everything about it. And I'm really looking forward to trying to reread it. Again, I haven't done it yet, so it's going to be interesting. I'm excited to see what things I've forgotten, because I know I've forgotten some things, and just rediscovering this world and rediscovering the characters. I absolutely cannot wait. Next up in my list of books to prioritize in 2019 is a couple of sequels. There was one book that I read back in October of 2018 that I absolutely fell in love with. It was wonderful, and that was The Diviners by Lova Bray. So in 2019 I would like to finish it off and read Layer of Dreams and Before the Devil Breaks You, the second and third book in this series. I cannot wait to read these books. I love The Diviners so much. I didn't expect to love it as much as I did. again, because it's kind of an urban supernatural paranormal story, which I haven't read in a long time, but it was beautifully done, terrifying, it was funny, it was suspenseful, and I cannot wait to see what the rest of the series unfolds. Next up, I've got a couple of classics that I want to get to in 2019, and the first is Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte. I started reading this when I was like 15 because I was obsessed with Twilight, and it was Bella's favorite book. I'm not even gonna lie. That's why I started reading this when I was 15. But when I was 15, I also didn't really understand the language, and I wasn't able to really get into it. But since then, I've developed some more skills in reading classics, and I've become to really enjoy reading classics. So I'm very excited to get into this. I've heard it's a great book, just in general, and from a few of my friends that it's one of their favorite classics, so I'm really looking forward to getting into it. Next up, I'd like to read The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes by Arthur Conan Doyle. This is a selected set of the detective stories of Sherlock Holmes and Dr. Watson. I love Sherlock. I love detective stories. And specifically, like, I love Sherlock Holmes. I love the Robert Downey Jr. movies. I love the Benedict Cumberbatch TV show. My cousin and I went to 221B Baker Street when we were in London, which was awesome and fangirly and wonderful. But I'm excited to actually read some of the stories. I've never actually read a Sherlock Holmes story, so I'm really looking forward to this and seeing how it differs from the, like, adaptations that I've seen. I know it's going to differ a bit, but I'm excited. It's gonna be great. Next up is a fantasy series that has been long neglected by me, that I cannot believe I have not read yet, and that is the Lord of the Rings trilogy by J.R.R. Tolkien. Again, I cannot believe I haven't read these yet. I'm obsessed with the movies. Love the movies. I read The Hobbit, and it was fantastic. But I still haven't gotten around to actually reading the trilogy, which I'm very ashamed by. So I'm gonna write that wrong in 2019, and I'm gonna read Lord of the Rings. Again, I'm gonna probably wait until the summer to read this so that I can really take my time with it and really enjoy it and, like, not rush through it so I don't miss anything. But again, I'm so looking forward to it. This series has set the stage for so many of my favorite fantasy novels and so much of the fantasy genre today that I cannot believe I haven't given it a go yet. I'm so excited, and I cannot wait. Next up are a couple of books that I got for Christmas from my lovely boyfriend, and that I've heard nothing but good things about. I've heard people rave about these books for the past year, basically, and that is Scythe and Thunderhead by Neil Shusterman. This series, again, I've heard nothing but good things about, and it seems like a very interesting concept that I'm very excited to get into, but I've been neglecting it for a long time. So now that I have a copy of it, I'm definitely looking forward to reading it. I know that the third book is set to come out this year, I think. I feel like I just saw that, but it doesn't have a title, it doesn't have a cover, nothing. No release date, but hope so, because I feel like it's going to be another one of those books where I'm just dying to get a hold of the next one after I fly through these. Scythe is set in a world where basically everything bad has been eradicated. Like, there's no poverty, there's no hunger, there's no pollution, all that kind of things, and there's no death, except for a group of citizens called Scythe, people who have been tasked with killing people in order to control the population, because there is no war, there's no misery, no disease, no nothing. And it follows two characters as they've been chosen to be Scythes, and their journey going through learning what the job is like. And they also have to learn how to hone their craft, because if they don't, it means that they lose their own lives. I've heard, again, nothing but good things about this series. It's a anticipated 5-star read for me, and it's just a matter of doing it. So let's hope that ends up happening. The next book that I'm going to try and prioritize in 2019 is Enchantment of Ravens by Margaret Rogerson. I've talked about this book a couple times on my channel because it's been on a couple of my TBRs and it's never ended up being read. Sorry. It tells the story of Isabelle, who's a human who has mastered the craft of painting, and she ends up painting portraits for many of the elite fae in the fae courts that live nearby in her kingdom. And one day Isabelle is tasked with painting a portrait of the Autumn Prince, Rook, and Isabelle makes the deadly mistake of painting human sorrow into his eyes, which is a punishable crime. Isabelle is whisked away to Rook's kingdom to stand trial for her crime, and they end up getting back and realizing that something is very amiss in Rook's Kingdom and they have to work together to try and get to the bottom of it. I've heard great things about this. I love fairy stories. Again, you guys know this. So it's just a matter of me reading it again. I don't know why I haven't, but I'm really looking forward to it. Okay, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and let me know in the comments what books you're prioritizing for 2019, or if you've read any of these or want to reread any of these with me. Let me know your thoughts. If you're new here, please subscribe. I put out new videos every Wednesday and Friday, and I hope you guys have a lovely day. Bye bye.